I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Been doing that all day, you don't even do that.
Brace yourself, because what just exploded on the internet makes the Kardashians look like a polite PTA meeting discussing cookie preferences. Karlissa, yes, the undefeated queen of family chaos. The woman who treats Instagram Live like the Supreme Court just slammed the digital world with what she's calling DNA proof that baby Junior might not belong to Blueface. And the reaction. Imagine someone unplugged TikTok during a viral trend finale. Full panic. Full meltdown. Full historical collapse. She didn't whisper. She didn't warn. She didn't even blink. She hit posts like she was detonating a bomb labeled family secrets. Open if you dare. One swipe, and the internet went into cardiac arrest. Screenshots flying. Memes printing themselves. People zooming in like CSI interns who suddenly got promoted to lead detective. This wasn't a tea spill. This was a caffeinated tsunami with no evacuation plan. If even one pixel of this proof is real, then Blueface's entire storyline is about to flip harder than a table on a Zeus Network reunion special. And trust me, what follows next makes this leak look like a warm-up act. The moment Karlissa tapped post, the internet didn't just react, it combusted like someone lit a match inside a fireworks warehouse. People weren't ready, phones weren't charged, and the algorithm wasn't strong enough to contain the explosion. Screenshots spread faster than wildfire, each one claiming to hold the truth, the lies, or whatever chaotic cocktail Karlissa stirred up this time. Her calm confidence was the scariest part. She didn't tremble, hesitate, or question herself. She delivered that proof the same way she delivers drama, proudly, loudly, and with the energy of someone who believes the universe reports to her. This wasn't some casual family disagreement. This was the digital equivalent of flipping a dinner table and yelling, "Let's talk about it now." For months, rumors floated around like annoying flies, but no one expected the matriarch to drop alleged DNA paperwork like an O reverse card. The timing made it even more insane. Not a holiday, not a birthday, not even a scandal-heavy news day. No, Karlissa picked a perfectly random moment and turned it into a global emergency. People zoomed in on the screenshot like they were analyzing ancient scrolls. They twisted screens, circled numbers, and ran their own fake lab interpretations like experts no one hired to understand why the internet cracked in half. You have to rewind the entire messy saga. The tension between Chrisean and Karlissa has been simmering longer than a slow-cooked feud. Their history is layered with livestream arguments, accusations, paparazzi moments, and battles that made their drama practically its own television genre. Every week featured a new plot twist, and every month introduced a new emotional wound. But this was bigger. This wasn't just beef. This was the nuclear button pushed with a smile. From the moment baby Junior was born, the world watched the chaos unfold like a documentary nobody asked for, but everyone kept streaming. The parenting disputes, the custody scares, the hotel incidents, the random screaming matches, it all created a storm around a baby who didn't ask for a single second of fame. The public couldn't look away, because this family didn't just argue. They argued publicly, loudly, and theatrically, like they were auditioning for the most chaotic reality show ever produced. And when rumors of paternity first surfaced, most people shrug it off as another messy moment in a long list of disasters. But then Karlissa leaked proof. The caption alone sent shockwaves. She implied that the DNA numbers didn't match Blueface's profile. Whether she was right, wrong, confused, or onto something, nobody knew. But in internet culture, screenshots speak louder than facts. People treated her post like a national announcement. Thousands debated whether the document was legitimate. Others questioned why she had it, how she got it, and whether she should have posted it at all. Suddenly, this wasn't about entertainment anymore. It was about morals, boundaries, and a mother publicly detonating her son's life. As the world tried to understand the chaos, Blueface's silence became the loudest sound. He didn't deny it. He didn't confirm it. He didn't rage against it. He simply vanished online, leaving fans refreshing his page like they were checking their exam results. His absence created a vacuum powerful enough to escalate everything. People don't do well with silence. They fill it with theories, conspiracies, and fears. And that's exactly what happened. Meanwhile, Chrisean's fans rose like an army. They flooded comment sections defending her, some saying she was targeted unfairly, others screaming that this was yet another attack from the Blueface family. They fought under her banner like she was the captain in a war they had long predicted. On the other side, Karlissa's supporters claimed she was exposing a truth that had been whispered for months. They said she was brave, bold, and refusing to be silenced. The battlefield wasn't physical, but it was loud enough to feel like one. Then came the meme tsunami. Junior's photos were placed side by side with Blueface in bizarre comparisons. People analyzed head shapes like they were comparing criminal sketches. Others posted fake scientific diagrams pretending to break down genetic markers. Twitter threads erupted, TikTok detectives emerged, and Instagram pages became debate clubs. Everyone claimed to know the truth, even though the real truth was nowhere near clear. It didn't matter. The entertainment value was too high, but underneath all the spectacle was a deeper unease. Because if even a fraction of that proof held up, everything changed. It wouldn't just be a scandal. It would be a collapse of trust, a reshaping of relationships, a tidal wave of consequences heavy enough to break anyone involved. People began asking dangerous questions. Who knew what? When did they know it? Why was this leaked publicly instead of privately? And how did a baby end up being the center of a family feud that felt more scripted than reality TV? Fans also recalled earlier interviews where Blueface hinted at doubts. Clips circulated where he half-joked about getting a test. Others found interviews where Chrisean dismissed outside opinions entirely, saying she knew her truth. Suddenly, every old conversation felt prophetic. Every line that once seemed like casual chaos now felt like hidden meaning. People replayed them like analyzing old clues from a mystery series. The emotional stakes climbed even higher when legal voices entered the conversation. Lawyers posted warnings about leaking DNA information and the potential consequences. Some claimed defamation. Others suggested privacy violations. A few even hinted that this could affect custody cases if it were proven the leak was malicious or false. The story went from messy entertainment to real-world danger in seconds. And yet, even with all the chaos, finger-pointing, memes, rumors, and screaming, one truth became clear. Nobody knew what was real. The document might be legitimate. It might be fabricated. It might be misinterpreted. Or it might be something entirely different from what the internet assumed. But truth didn't matter anymore. Because the world wasn't reacting to facts. It was reacting to impact. And Karlissa's impact was nuclear. As the dust attempted to settle, failing miserably, the new question hovering over everyone wasn't, is the leak real? But something much scarier. The second a leak settled into the bloodstream of the internet, the scandal didn't come, it evolved into a creature with teeth. Reaction channels uploaded videos faster than they could breathe, acting like they'd been waiting their whole lives to dissect a DNA test. People who failed high school science suddenly became genetic specialists, confidently explaining results they didn't understand. Their thumbnails looked like emergency alerts. Their titles were written like biblical prophecy. The internet didn't go into analysis mode, it went into a feeding frenzy. Celebrities started chiming in next, because nothing entertains the industry more than watching another family implode. Jason Lee hopped online with his signature "I know something, y'all don't smirk." Tamar Braxton posted a mysterious one-liner about truth cutting deeper than lies. Even Nick Young tweeted nonsense like he had inside access to the test itself. And then Hazily burst onto the scene with a full-blown rant that felt like a TED Talk delivered by someone who drank 3 energy drinks too fast. She dragged the paper, the printer, the lighting, the margins, everything except the weather. TikTok went viral in record time. Creators wore cheap lab coats from Amazon and acted like crime scene investigators analyzing blood samples. People zoomed in on blurry pixels, pointed to squiggly lines, and confidently declared that's not real DNA format, even though they'd never seen a real DNA report in their lives. Others made comedy reenactments, pretending to be Karlissa tossing papers like she was dealing cards at a Vegas blackjack table. Someone turned her caption into a rap hook. Another did a dance challenge called the DNA drop. Suddenly, the scandal wasn't just information. It was entertainment fuel. But the memes weren't all jokes. Some had an undertone of real panic, because what Karlissa dropped wasn't just a messy post. It was the kind of bombshell that could shift narratives, custody dynamics, and reputations permanently. Lawyers joined the chaos with stitched videos saying things like, "Let me explain the legal nightmare this could trigger." One attorney claimed Blueface could sue his mother for fabricating medical information. Another said Chrisean could sue for emotional damage. A third warned that sharing DNA-related documents without permission could cross into criminal territory. Suddenly, viewers sat up straighter. Rumors began to swirl that Chrisean was preparing to respond. People said she had seen the leak, and she was livid in a way that couldn't be contained. Fans know what happens when Chrisean gets pushed too far. She doesn't respond quietly. She responds with full-volume emotional hurricanes that shake the internet like a planequake. Every hour without her reaction made the suspense worse. People refreshed her page like they were tracking the weather during a storm warning, waiting for the moment she'd speak and unleash chaos of her own. Karlissa, meanwhile, basked in the attention. She kept posting follow-ups, clapping back at critics, and doubling down like she was hosting her own talk show. Supporters cheered her on, calling her fearless and finally exposing the truth. Critics accused her of crossing boundaries, violating privacy, and destroying her relationship with her son forever. But none of the backlash slowed her down. If anything, it fueled her confidence. She argued with strangers like she had all the time in the world. She acted like the internet was her courtroom, and she was both the witness and the judge. As the story spread, people began digging up old, content-led archaeologists, uncovering forgotten drama artifacts. Clips resurfaced where Blueface made jokes about paternity. Videos emerged of Chrisean declaring she knew her truth. Rumors Karlissa dropped in past live streams suddenly felt prophetic. Fans built timelines, connecting messy moments like conspiracy theorists on caffeine. Threads appeared explaining all the signs we missed, turning every argument, glare, and side-eye into a coded message. The past began shaping the future, even though none of it was confirmed. Then came the celebrity reaction memes. Fans edited faces of rap stars onto scientists' bodies, pretending they were analyzing the test. Someone put Drake in a lab coat saying, "It's not God's plan." Another meme showed Kanye holding a chart labeled "DNA doesn't lie." Even Rihanna reacted indirectly by liking a cryptic post about family secrets exploding at the wrong time. The scandal didn't just touch celebrities, it sucked them into the gravitational pull of chaos. Public outrage tightened its grip. One camp shouted that Karlissa was a truth-teller exposing lies. Another camp defended Chrisean with unshakable loyalty, arguing that the mother-in-law energy had gone too far. A third group attacked Blueface for not speaking. And then there was the fourth group, the spectators, who didn't care who was right. They were just enjoying the spectacle, treating the situation like a live-action series airing in real time. As the noise grew louder, a question slid into the center of the discussion. If Junior isn't Blueface's son, who could the father be? People threw out wild speculations with zero evidence. Screenshots of Chrisean with various men resurfaced, even when they were completely unrelated friendships or accidental background appearances. People zoomed in on strangers in old photos like detectives trying to solve a decade-old crime. Internet sleuths confidently pointed at random individuals and whispered, "It could be him." The disrespect was insane, but the engagement numbers were skyrocketing. And for social media, that's all that matters. Then Zeus Network stirred the pot without officially stepping in. They didn't release statements or clarification. They simply liked a suspicious meme, followed an account discussing the leak, and dropped a vague teaser about family drama reaching new heights. Fans went ballistic, They swore Zeus was orchestrating everything to hype a new season. Others said Zeus feeds off chaos and would milk this scandal until the internet burned out. The theory spread quickly. What if the leak was part of a bigger plan? But the deeper fans dug into the document, the messier it became. People noticed formatting issues, mismatched dates, and strange spacing. Some claimed these inconsistencies proved the document was fake. Others argued labs vary by state and style. A loud group insisted the numbers were mathematically impossible. Another group swore it looked exactly like a home DNA test kit result. The debate became endless, exhausting, and impossible to settle. Truth was irrelevant now. Chaos had taken control. The more the scandal inflated, the more impossible it became to contain. Blueface's silence made him look suspicious. Chrisean's silence made her look strategic. Karlissa's loudness made her look unhinged or heroic, depending on who you asked. The public wasn't just watching a scandal, they were participating in its creation, shaping its narrative, and deepening its impact. And the scariest part, no matter which side people chose, the consequences were already too deep to reverse, because this wasn't just a story about a test. It was a storm shaking the entire foundation of a family already cracked by fame, ego, and chaos. And the next wave of fallout was about to hit harder, louder, and more dangerous than anything so far. The fallout didn't drift in gently, it smashed into everyone like a wrecking ball dipped in gasoline. The instant people started asking who the real father could be, the scandal mutated into something darker, heavier, and way more dangerous. The internet went from laughing at memes to dissecting every old clip like it was evidence in a federal investigation. Every moment between Blueface, Chrisean, and Junior suddenly looked suspicious. Every old argument became a prophecy. Every awkward pause resurfaced as a sign. The public wasn't watching a drama anymore. They were building when Blueface eventually tried to address the chaos, but his response was so vague it felt like a shrug disguised as a statement. It didn't calm anyone. It didn't neutralize anything. If anything, it poured more suspicion onto the fire. Fans twisted every word, analyzing his tone like it was a coded confession. People said he looked tired, others said he looked guilty. A few insisted he looked relieved. The man could have blinked wrong and people would have turned it into a conspiracy thread. Meanwhile, Chrisean's silence transformed into its own storm. Every hour she didn't speak felt like a new clue. Fans theorized she was gathering receipts, prepping videos, or waiting for the perfect moment to counterattack. Others said she was broken, hurt, and exhausted from the endless public circus. But silence online doesn't sit still. It vibrates, it screams, it becomes a spotlight all on its own. Every minute she didn't respond felt heavier than 1,000 words posted by someone else. Karlissa kept adding fuel, refusing to back down or even soften her tone. She posted more cryptic lines, more hints, and more digs that kept conversations alive. Some people felt she was exposing truth and standing firm. Others accused her of cruelty, manipulation, and emotional sabotage. But Karlissa didn't just post. She reinforced, she pushed, she fought. She made herself the center of the narrative with every response she typed. She wasn't backing away from the chaos, she was surfing it. Influencers began predicting the emotional fallout like weather reporters predicting storms. Some said this scandal would permanently fracture the Blueface household. Others argued the family had been fractured long before this leak and the paperwork simply exposed what was already broken. Videos went viral with titles like "Why This?" "Family Can Never Recover" and "The Emotional Damage is Unfixable." People were treating the situation like a documentary in real time, forgetting that real human lives were underneath all the noise. Then came the custody predictions. Lawyers online didn't hold back. They explained how paternity questions can shatter legal proceedings. They warned about the potential damage to Junior's stability. They speculated about judges, rights, and long-term consequences. Suddenly, the memes weren't funny anymore. People were imagining a child being pulled back and forth because adults were fighting with screenshots. The storyline shifted from entertaining to heartbreaking in an instant. Chrisean eventually posted a few vague messages, but nothing solid enough to confirm or deny anything. Fans dissected the posts like they were holy scriptures. Some saw pain. Some saw confidence. Others saw coded messages directed at Karlissa. The lack of clarity became its own trap. People filled in the blanks with their own assumptions, no matter how wild or absurd. The silence and subtlety created 1,000 truths, each one contradicting the next. Blueface's team tried damage control behind the scenes, according to insiders, but the problem was beyond control. This wasn't a single rumor or a simple lie. This was an emotional bomb that had been building through years of dysfunction, fights, and public humiliation. The internet didn't want resolution. It wanted escalation. And the scandal was giving them endless fuel. Karlissa's supporters continued praising her strength while her critics amplified the psychological impact of what she'd done. Some said she was traumatized from past experiences and projecting onto this situation. Others accused her of jealousy, control, and obsession. And a few admitted the truth most people were afraid to say out loud. This leak didn't just hurt Blueface and Chrisean. It hurt Junior most of all. As the drama burned through its 8th, 9th, and 10th wave, Zeus Network added more gasoline. They posted a vague teaser about family truth-telling season, and the internet lost it. People claimed the leak was part of a Zeus storyline. Others said Zeus was exploiting the chaos. And a bold few accused the network of orchestrating the entire saga for ratings. Theories spun like a tornado. Nothing was confirmed, but the suspicion stuck like glue. People began questioning everything. Who leaked the document, whether it was real, whether someone forged it, and why Karlissa had it in the first place. Even those who believed the document was fake admitted the family was too unstable for anyone to trust any explanation. The entire situation became a fog of uncertainty, where fact felt like illusions and emotions drove every narrative. Families can recover from arguments. They can survive betrayals, fights, even public embarrassments. But a public paternity scandal, leaked by the grandmother, exploded across millions of screens. That kind of wound doesn't heal cleanly. It scars, it divides. It creates a permanent crack in the foundation that will always be there. No matter how much time passes, fans realize that even if the truth came out tomorrow, one thing wouldn't change. This scandal rewrote the entire storyline forever. Junior will grow up with the shadow of this moment hanging over him. Blueface's reputation took a blow that won't disappear with a single post. Chrisean's image was put through another public firestorm. And Karlissa drew a line so deep it may never disappear. The consequences weren't temporary. They were permanent. And yet, the internet wasn't done. Because the final twist, the one everyone feared, hovered in the air like smoke. If this was the proof Karlissa dropped, what other secrets were waiting behind it? And what happens when the next truth surfaces louder, wilder, and even harder to swallow than this one? If you made it through this scandal without your phone overheating or your sanity evaporating, congratulations, you're officially stronger than the entire Blueface family tree combined. This saga didn't just shake the internet. It body slammed it, dragged it across the floor, and stole its charger on the way out. And trust me, this chaos is nowhere near finished. If Karlissa dropped DNA proof today, imagine what she's gearing up to unleash tomorrow. This family doesn't sleep, and apparently, neither does their drama. So before the next bombshell detonates across your timeline, hit that like button like it owes you money. Drop a comment telling me what you think the real truth is, or just type insanity if you're as shocked as the rest of the internet. And make sure you subscribe so hard that YouTube thinks you're signing adoption papers for this entire family. Turn on notifications too, because missing a twist in this storyline is basically a crime at this point. Every meltdown, every leak, every he said, she said, every screenshot, every emotional explosion, it all lands right here first. I break it down with more sarcasm than a reality show reunion host and more accuracy than the people pretending to read DNA reports online. This is the only place giving you the chaos, the comedy, the conspiracy, and the cliffhangers all rolled into one wild ride. And remember, in Hollywood's darkest corners, the truth never shows up quietly. It kicks the door open, screams at the top of its lungs, and throws receipts across the room. Which means you already know. This is Celeb Insanity, where the scandals stay loud, the truth stays messy, and the tea never stops burning.